Welcome to CSEGuru. In this session, we are going to discuss Principles of Programming using C, BTU Model Question Paper 2024 Set 1 Solution. Question number 6b. Explain the working of recursion with a suitable example. And this is a 6-mark question. What is recursive function? A recursive function is defined as a function that calls by itself. That is called recursion or recursive function. Normally, in a user-defined function, if you are considering in the sense, so this is the user-defined function and this is the function name, user-defined function name. And if this function calls by itself within the same user-defined function, the function again calls by itself. That is called recursive function. Any user-defined function that calls by itself, that is called recursive function. If you are considering the recursive function, there are two major cases. One is best case and another one is recursive case. Best case, if you are considering in the sense, problem will be solved directly without any further calls. That is, the function, it is not necessary to call by itself again and again. Instead, the problem will be solved directly without any further recursive calls to the same function itself. Maybe one time or two times. That is best case. Recursive case, if you are considering in the sense, the given problem will be divided into subproblems. Like subproblem 1, 2, 3, likewise, the given problem will be divided into subproblem, and to solve each subproblem, the function will call by itself. So every recursion, the function will call by itself, maybe n-1 times, likewise. Okay, so here the function calls with a smaller part of the problem obtained in first step. That is, in first recursive call, the problem will solve only a smaller part. Okay, then the result obtained is combined with the solution of these simple subproblems. So next recursion, again it will solve a smaller part. Next recursion, again it will solve a smaller part. Likewise, the problem will be solved in recursive steps. Then the result is obtained by combining the solutions of the simple subproblems. Okay, so these are all the two cases. Best case in the sense, further recursive call is not required. Recursive case in the sense, problem will be divided into n-1 subproblems, and each recursive call, the problem will be solved as a smaller part. Okay, likewise, n-1 times you have to implement this recursive call. Then the result is obtained by combining the solutions of simpler steps. Okay, and recursion, if you are considering in the sense, initially it will be given as a larger and complex problem, and this large and complex problem will be divided in terms of smaller and more easily solvable problems by implementing this recursion. That is the meaning. Okay, so this is nothing but recursion or recursive function. Simply recursion or recursive function is nothing but a function calls by itself. User-defined function calls by itself. Here, if you are considering the example, factorial, solving the factorial problem is the best example to implement recursion. So what do you mean by factorial? If it is 4 factorial, if they have given in the sense, how we will find solution? This 4 factorial, 4 into n-1, n-1 in the sense 3, into n-1, 3 minus 1, 2, into 2 minus 1, 1. Okay. So here you will get it as 24, you will get it, 4 factorial. Suppose if it is 5 factorial in the sense, 5 into n-1 is 4, into n-1 is 3, into n-1 is 2, into n-1 is 1. Okay. So here if you are considering value was 120. Okay. This is the normal way we will find the factorial. Okay. And this factorial concept we are going to implement as a recursive function. So here include the header file. Then this is the user-defined function declaration. Okay. This is function declaration or function prototype, we will tell it. Okay. And this is the main function. Here the main function starts and this is the end of the main function. And here comes the local declaration, number and factorial. Then enter the number. For example, I am entering 4. Okay. And here this is actually the function call. So once the function is called, control will be transferred to the user-defined function. Here it will execute the complete user-defined function. Once the user-defined function is completed, control will be transferred here again. Okay, that is the meaning. So here the function is called with this number value is 4. And here we will pass 4 here. Okay, so how this recursive function will be implemented in the sense, here it will check it up. If n is equal to 1, no, condition fails. Okay, it won't return 1. It will go to else part. Okay, and it will implement return n. N is 4 here. N into fact of n minus 1. 4 minus 1 is 3. Okay. So now with the n value 3, again this function will be called. This is recursive call. This is a function, user-defined function. This function, inside the same function, it calls by itself. It calls by itself. So now n value will be 3. And here it will check whether n is equal to 1. No, condition fails. It will go to return statement. So this is actually the first recursion. And second recursive call, if you are considering, it will return, already 4 is there, right? 4 into, for this one, value is 3, n minus n into n minus 1. N value is 3 into n minus 1, fact of n minus 1. Fact of 2 you will get it. Okay, so with this 2, here with this 2, n value will be called again. The function will be called again. Okay, now n value will be considered as 2. It will check here, condition fails, it will go here. Again, the third recursive call, if we are considering in the sense, here it will return n into n minus 1. Already 4 into 3 is there. And this fact of n, it is n into n minus 1. N value is 2. 2 into fact of 2 minus 1. Okay, so 2 minus 1, you will get it as 1. So with n value 1, again the function will be called. Okay, and in this fourth recursive call, if you are considering in the sense, function will be called again, and here it will check the condition, n is equal to 1. Yes, the condition is true. Then here it will return 1. Meaning is here, instead of that, it will be replaced with 1. That is 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. So how many times this recursive function is called here? 3 times. Fourth time we have tried to implement, but here this if statement condition is true, so it returns 1. Fourth time the function actually it is not called. The recursive function is not called. Okay. So here 3 times the recursive function has implemented, and if you are multiplying this value, you will get 24. This is the result you will get it finally. So once you got the result will be sent back to this function, and here it will store factorial is equal to 24. And if you are asking to print here in the sense factorial of percentage d. So here output what we will get it in the sense factorial of percentage d. Percentage d, here comes the number value. What is the input you have given? That is 4. Factorial of 4 is equal to, and this percentage d, this factorial value will carry, that is nothing but 24. This is the output, you will get it in the output screen. Okay, so how many times here the recursive function is called? N minus 1 times. So here if you are considering, the given problem will be divided into sub-problems. Here the sub-problem, here it solves a smaller part and it will find the solution for the smaller part. Okay, again the function is called factorial of 4 in the sense, here a smaller part of the solution is solved. Again the user-defined function is called. For this one, again the smaller part of the solution we will get it. And for this one, again the smaller part of the solution we will get it. Likewise, if you are combining the smaller part of the solution, you will get the original solution. That is the final solution, you will get it. So here, the recursive function is called n minus 1 times. We have given n value 4, n minus 1 times in the sense 3 times the recursive function is called. Suppose if you have given n value 5 in the sense, the recursive function will be called 4 times. Okay, so here n minus 1 times the recursive function is called. And this is the best example to implement recursion. Sometimes they will ask only this factorial function. C program to implement factorial function using recursion. Only the program part they will ask. In that case, you have to implement this C program. You have to write the C program and explain with best example. Show the output here. Okay. So this is all about recursion and recursive function with example. Thank you for watching this video.